Are you still doing pull-ups without gymnastics grips? Well, stop doing this because you're going to expose yourself to even more bloody rips. But whenever you're buying budget, you always have to question the durability and feel. But from the past 4 months of use with the Bear Grips Gymnastics Grips, I've had no signs of tearing in the grip itself, where I've had issues with the Bear Komplex in the past before. Yes, I've had plenty of issues with grips. Yes. And make sure you don't get these mixed up with the Bear Komplex. These are Bear Grips, the company themselves. Companies will have different sizing depending on what grips you're looking to buy. But for the Bear Grips, you start from the base of the wrist and go up to the base of the middle finger. And when I did this, I was sized as a large. So when you're wearing a gymnastics grip, what you really want to have happen is you want this to fold over. And as you can tell, it's pretty tight for me. I don't have much slack up here. So that's the reason why I would go to an extra large. You don't want it to be a full extension like this over the bar. Yeah, it might help with just a little bit more control. You honestly want the fingers in and you want it to slack over the bar. In comparison to other grips, I was actually sized as a medium in Bear Komplex, and I should have been a large to be able to get that fold over the bar. So that's another thing to consider, that the sizing isn't completely the same to the grips that you go to, so you'll have to use their sizing as well. With Bear Grips being a smaller company, they actually only have one option to pick from. They have their titanium grips, which you only get to choose is a 2-finger hole option, where like Bear Komplex grips and Victory grips actually have 3-hole, no fingers, and 2 holes. So you have a more selection. With the 3-hole finger, what's gonna actually happen is you're gonna have more hand coverage. Yes, it may be more bulkier, but it protects your hands a little bit better. So that's what I would recommend from them, is having those other options for more people to come in that want that extra hand protection. The strap is very comparable to like a Bear Komplex. It is very cheaply made. It probably cost them 10 cents for a strap. There isn't a concern over the past 4 months of using it where I've had it feel like that it was gonna fail in the strap. It just means it's gonna have a higher chance to fail there over a comparison to a Victory grip where everything is very much a one piece. So it's gonna probably have a higher chance of failing in the center of the grip. When you're gonna go up to the pull bar and do chest bars, bar muscle ups, and pull-up bars, my big concern is it actually doesn't protect my hand very well. Because it's so thin, it tends to fold up when you do high rotation movements. And for example, when I was doing chest bars, 2 sets of 30, I did end up tearing on that last set of 30. On my Bear Komplex grips, I did not have that concern because they are of thicker material, so they're not gonna tend to fold up as much. There are some movements that are good to be using these thinner grips with, such as ring muscle ups, toes to bar. And the reason why toes to bar, yes, it is some rotation, but you're not rotating over the bar. These are also good for low gymnastics volume in workouts, so where you have to have quick transitions. So grabbing a kettlebell or grabbing a barbell where you don't have to take the gymnastics grips off, you can just grab the barbell and get going right away, decreasing that transition time. And when I did grab a barbell or a kettlebell, there really wasn't a feeling that the grip was there. So this is a big plus for these grips. And this is probably one of the cheapest grips you're gonna find on Amazon, which I personally have used. And then you're gonna find these for $35, where you go to a Bear Komplex grips, which is gonna cost you $45. And if you wanna go to a step up and go to a Victory grip that is more of a higher quality, the lowest you're gonna find is about $48, and they can range up to $54 depending on what you're looking to get. It's a great place for anyone who is starting out in CrossFit and trying to figure out what grip works for them. It's a low price point entry, but personally, I am a fan of the 3-finger hole grip because it gives you so much more whole hand protection. But honestly, after these grips are done, I'd probably go back to a Victory grip because of the whole 3-hole, but also that I've able to use those for a full year without the grip failing. How do the grips work on a slipperier pull-up bar? The material that the Bear Grips uses doesn't help with the slipperier pull-up bar. The only time I have really ripped using these things. What will happen is the grips will start to fold up, exposing your hand. To fix this issue, I will look at adding quad wax, which can be used on any grip to reduce the slipperiness. You could also add tape, but some competitions and gyms won't allow you to use these. Make sure you check with the owner before doing so. With the powder coated bars or steel bars from Rogue, these grips will give you adequate grip without feeling you're gonna slip off the bar. the same bars I have in my garage gym and have been using. There is another way that you can increase your strength in CrossFit. We can use the dip belt.